Hi guys, it's Jacob from Stringbuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org, the music journalism site. Links are in the description down below. And we have a brand new song review for you today, and it's the latest by Mastodon, and that's Show Yourself. So I'm going to refer to the original article as I usually do for these videos, so I hope you enjoy. Now, Mastodon seem to have conflicted their fans with their last few releases, with people embracing the changes and others denouncing the group altogether. Even though I wasn't the biggest fan of Sultan's Curse, I can see why people do like it, and I can also see why people are a little bit split on this brand new approach. So shall we see what I thought of this latest single? Well, I thought it was okay, and it has a couple of sweet sequences in it, but for the most part it's kind of a generic stoner rock track. This isn't an insult, but it did come across like they were trying to go for a more of the Queens of the Stone Age type vibe, rather than being as individual as we all know they can be. It's a bit radio rocky too, which, like I said in my 1OK Rock review, is not an entirely bad thing, but you do run the risk of losing that original edge, which tends to satisfy fans that bit more. I do actually think the shakiest part of this track has to be the production. It's just lacking edge and a more cutting high end, and everything else seems to be covering the low to low mid ground rather than really spreading itself around. The guitars have a fairly decent distortion to them, but they sound a little too thin. The bass is wholesome but completely lacking any twang to it. The kick is roomy, and too roomy really for this type of mix, and doesn't really drive the pulse all too well. And the vocals seem to be very quiet and distant. I think the quietness of said vocals has to be down to their choice of leaving it a little bit stuck in the background and really cutting through into the foreground. I mean, the mix isn't bad or horrible, but certainly not to the standard of, say, like an Alice in Chains or a Dream Theater or any emerging stoner rock group which is coming out right now. I mean, I'm thinking of people like Baroness and Red Fang as well. I don't think it's up to that sort of caliber either. And if you're going for prog, then there's people like Dream Theater, Pliny, Chon. All these people have better mixes than this, and I think it's quite an important thing in this type of genre now, and I don't think they've really utilised it all too well. When it comes to the musicality of this track, I actually didn't really mind the frenetic strumming and vocals. I thought they sounded aggressive and punchy and fairly catchy at times, and I can see it working well to separate more riff-based tracks on the album anyway. The vocal melodies are actually quite good too, and I think the overall vocal performance here is stronger than Sultan's Curse. It just lacks sort of a memorability to it though, and that's primarily down to a bad mix, but also you have to think that this song is a little bit rushed and a little bit sloppy in comparison to their prior work. For me, the bridge has to be the best part about the song. The changing of the time signature, the great guitar solo, and the brilliant drum sequences totally change the momentum of the track for the better, and unfortunately that just further highlights how basic the rest of the song is. So it's sort of its best part, and it's also a bit of a disadvantage too. Lyrically, I will say that the track is functional, and I think they work just fine when put into that fairly decent melody of the vocal melody in this track, but all in all, a little disappointing really, and I'm not going to write this new album off. I'm still not going to write this new album off. People will connect with this track in different ways, so don't be surprised to see fans bickering in the comment section of this music video when that music video eventually comes out. But yeah, I'm not going to write this new album off because I think there is still potential there. I think from both tracks there are good parts in them, but we haven't got a big collection of just great riffs and solos and stuff really been put together now, and I'm not expecting this album to really blow me away. I mean, both singles which they've released have been a bit sort of iffy, so yeah, I don't think it's going to be their best album, but I think there is still potential there, and it still might be quite a fun album to listen to. So I gave this one a G rating of 5 out of 10, which is straight down the middle, sort of your average stoner rock track. So if you like this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye bye.